Hello students, in our today's algebra class we are going to learn about operations on sets, basically union of sets and intersection of sets. So let us see what is meant by union and what is meant by intersection of sets. So first we will learn about intersection of two sets. Let us just check the definition. The intersection of the two sets A and B is the set of common elements of A and B. It is written as A intersection B. You can see this symbol. It is like inverted U. Okay, U is turned upside down. That sign it is. It is called as intersection sign. Okay. Now this set A intersection B, its definition in other way, it is given like this. It is the set of all those elements X such that X belongs to A and X belongs to B. Means suppose some element X belongs to intersection of A and B, then it has to belong to A and B both. Okay. So this word and is very important. Okay, while we solve the word problems, we will come across this word and both, these two words and both. So whenever you get to see the word and both, means you should understand that it is intersection. Okay, so we will just try to understand what is intersection with the help of an example. Now set A has elements 1, 3, 5, 7. Set B has elements 2, 3, 6, 8. Now, what is common here? In these two, I can see the element 3 is common. So, we can say that this element 3 belongs to A intersection B. So, we can say element 3 belongs to A intersection B. So, that's it. With the help of Venn diagram, we can show intersection this way. Okay, this area which is shown with brown, which is common to both the sets A and B, right? This is set A and this is set B. This area which is common to both the sets A and B is called as the intersection part, this area. So now 3 is common. 3 I should be writing in that intersection part, and remaining elements of A in set A and elements of B in set B, 2, 6, 8 there, and this 3 which is common to both A and B should be written here in the intersection part. Okay, so basically you must understand intersection is the common area common to both the sets, set A and set B. Now after intersection, let's go to union of two sets. What do you understand by union? The definition of union says the union of two sets A and B is set which consists of all the elements of A and B. It is written as A union B. Okay, so union means elements of A and B both. Okay, so here the keyword is or. There we have seen the keyword and. Okay, if element X has to belong to union A union B, that means element may be in A or it may be in B. It is not necessary that it has to be there in both, because A union B means both the set union A and set B, both the sets together is A union B. So basically union will have that A part, B part, and even that intersection part, that entirely is called as union. And this symbol of U is a symbol for union. It is read as A union B. It is read as A union B. So let us just understand with the help of an example and the Venn diagram what is meant by union. Now here example is given. A, set A has 1, 2, 3, 4. elements, and set B has elements 4, 5, 6, 7. Now we will write all these elements together. Only the thing is, while writing the set, always we know the elements that are repeated, we don't write it twice, right? We have to write it only once. That is the only thing you have to keep in mind. Rest A union B means you have to write all the elements of set A and set B together. That is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So this is going to be my set A union B. So now same thing we will see with the help of Venn diagram. Now A union B will be this entire region, the set A, the intersection part, and the set B. This entire region will be A union B actually. This complete set A, this is set A, this is set B, and this is the intersection part which is common to both. So union will have this entire set A, this entire set B, and also this intersection part. Okay, so this is A union B entirely. This entirely is A union B. Now let's see what is meant by number of elements in a set. Now this is very easy definition. Let's say I have some set A which has got the following elements 1, 2, 3. Okay, now this is read as n of A. N of A means number of elements in set A. Okay, n of A means what? Number of elements in set A. Now here n of A is equal to 3. We can very well see that in set A there are 3 elements, 1, 2 and 3. You just have to count how many elements are there. So that's going to be n of A is equal to 3, and n of A means number of elements in set A. Okay, that's I think quite easy, but it is very important also in order to solve the sums. Okay, based on this we are going to learn one important formula also. Let A and B are two finite sets. We have learned a definition of finite. What are finite sets? It means it has limited or countable elements. So for finite sets we can use this formula. N of A union B is equal to n of A plus n of B minus n of A intersection B. Now this same formula in the board problem, whatever your need is, accordingly you can change. Now you can see this n of A union B. Suppose you want to find out intersection in the sum, then you can bring this intersection here, this side, right? So this is minus, it comes here, it will become plus, and if this union goes that side, it will become minus. So this same formula we can write it in this way also. N of A intersection B is equal to n of A plus n of B minus n of A union B. Okay, and there is one more way in which also we can write it as n of A. If you find that easier to remember, you can do it that way also. Whichever way you find easier to remember this formula, you can take n of A union B. I will bring this intersection part this side, it will become plus n of A intersection B is equal to n of A plus n of B. Okay, So there are three ways in which I have written this formula just by rearranging. That's it. It's the same thing, only I have rearranged, taken one term from here to there. So whichever way you want, you can remember it and you can use it in the sum the way we want it. Okay. So let us just continue. So see, this is the way you can write it. Now we will just understand a definition of disjoint sets. If two sets have nothing common, okay, these are two sets A and B, and the elements have absolutely nothing common in them, okay, 1 3 5 9 and 2 4 8, then we say these two sets are disjoint because not a single element is common in them. Okay. Okay, now we come to 1.4. First sum is very easy. N of A is given to be 15, N of A union B is given to be 29, and N of A intersection B is given to be 7. Then you are asked to find out N of B. Now there are 4 quantities in the formula. Out of 4, any 3 will be given. On fourth one you have to find. So you know very well how to find, right? Just substitute what is given, and the remaining you can solve the equation and you can solve, right? So this is the formula. N of A union B is equal to N of A plus N of B minus N of A intersection B. Now you can directly substitute here itself. A union B is 29, N of A is 15, N of B is not given, so keep it as it is, and N of A intersection B is 7. So substitute it there. All the values you just have to substitute in the formula. Therefore, see, for union I have substituted 29, N of A is 15, N of B I don't know, so I have kept it as it is, intersection is 7. Okay, let us solve the equation. 15 minus 7 is 8. Now that 8 will come this side, it will become minus. So N of B is 29 minus 8. Therefore N of B is 21. So I guess this was quite a simple sum. We just had to substitute and solve the equation, that's it. But the most important thing here is to remember the formula. If you remember the formula, more than 50% of the work is done. Okay. Now we come to the word problem. Now here, while solving the word problem, the most important thing is you should understand what is given in the sum. Okay, this is the first thing. You should understand what is given, whether intersection is given or a union is given, and what you are asked to find. This you should understand. And then next is the formula, and formula is just same that just now we saw, N of A union B and all that. That's it. So just let us read the sum. In a school hostel, there are 125 students, out of which 80 drink tea, 60 drink coffee and 20 drink both tea and coffee. Find the number of students who do not take tea or coffee. So in brief, we will just try to understand how we are going to do it. Now there is a hostel. In total, there are 125 students total. In that hostel, total 125 students are there, out of which 80 drink tea. So I will write N of T. I will denote that as N of T is 80. Then 60 drink coffee. So N of C is equal to 60. And 20 drink both. Now I told you this word both is important. Both means what? They drink tea and coffee. And. I told you and means intersection. I told you and means intersection. So that's going to be N of T intersection C is equal to, how much is that intersection? T intersection C is 20. Okay. Now find the number of students who do not take tea or coffee. Now, this is what these three things are given to us, and we are asked to find out the students who do not take tea or coffee at all. Okay, so before we find the students who do not take any of the drinks, we will find out number of students who take at least one of the two drinks, right? Means number of students who take either tea or coffee. Okay, so once let us just find out the number of students who take at least tea or coffee, one of the two drinks. Then we can easily find those who do not take any of the two drinks. Okay, so let us see. The total number of students in the hostel is 125. Okay, so this is, we can say, the universal set. So I've just total I have denoted by the letter U because I don't want to confuse with T. Okay, let T be the set of students who drink tea. I have used the letter T. You can use A, B, C, D, anything that you like to use. I have used T, so N of T for me is 80. And let C be the number of students who drink coffee. So therefore N of C is 60. 20 students drink both tea and coffee, both tea and coffee, and so that's intersection. Therefore N of T intersection C is equal to 20. Now we will use the formula, and as I told you earlier, we can find out the union using the formula, and that union means the number of students who take at least one of the two drinks. Means they don't drink both, because both is what we know the number already, it's 20 who drink both, but those who take at least one of the two drinks. So union, we got C. N of T I have substituted there 80, N of C I have substituted 60, and intersection 20. So after solving this I got 120. So there are 120 students who drink either tea or coffee, one of the two drinks they take. Okay, now number of students who do not take tea or coffee means is equal to total number of students minus, so there are total 125 students, out of which 120 take at least one of the two drinks, tea or coffee. So obviously there are 5 students who do not take any of the drinks, tea or coffee. I think you must have understood this sum. If you have still not understood, you can go over and listen to this part again. I hope you will understand then. Okay, let's go to the next word problem. In a competitive exam, 50 students passed in English, 60 students passed in mathematics, 40 students passed in both the subjects, English and mathematics, both. So as I told you, whenever there is both and, means it is going to be an intersection. None of them failed in both the subjects. So find the number of students who passed at least in one of the subjects. At least in one of the subjects means those students who passed at least in English or in mathematics. So there is or, at least, or, such words remember. So we are asked to find out the union. Okay, so we know N of E is 50, we know N of M mathematics is 60, and we know N of E intersection M 40, and we are asked to find out the union. This is quite simple. We are just going to use the formula and solve it. Let E be the set of students who passed in English. So N of E is 50. Let M be the set of students who passed in mathematics. So N of M is 60. Let 40 students passed in both the subjects. So that's intersection. N of E intersection M is 40. Now the total number of students who passed at least in one of the subjects is union, right? N of E union M. So now union we have to find using the formula. N of E union M is equal to N of E plus N of M minus N of E intersection M. Now just substitute. N of E is 50 n of m is 60 and n of e intersection m is 40. So we got the union to be 70. So hence, in a word problem, writing the final answer is very, very important. So we will write the final answer. Therefore, 70 students passed in at least one of the subjects. Therefore, number of students who passed at least one of the subjects is equal to 70. Now let's move on to the next sum. A survey was conducted to know the hobby of 220 students of a class 9, out of which 130 students informed about their hobby as rock climbing and 180 students informed about their hobby as sky watching, and there are 110 students who follow both the hobbies. Then how many students do not have any of the two hobbies? How many of them follow the hobby of rock climbing only? And how many students follow the hobby of sky watching only? Now students, go step by step and you will never go wrong. Okay. Now see, this is kind of an universal set, 220. Okay. There are total of 220 students in the class 9, out of which 130 informed about their hobby as rock climbing. So rock climbing I am assuming to be A. So there are 130 students having their hobby as rock climbing and 180 students as sky watching. So n of B, sky watching people I am assuming to be B. There are 180 such sky watching people, sky watching students. Then 110 students follow both. This word both I told you, whenever both and comes, they follow this and that, both. They follow rock climbing and sky watching, both. So that's an intersection. So n of A intersection B is given to be how much? 110. How many students do not have any of the two hobbies? Now this is like the very first word problem that we did. Who do not drink any of the drinks, like that it is. So we found first who drink at least one of the two drinks. So like that we will first find out the students, number of students who have at least one hobby, at least one hobby, at least one of the two hobbies. So at least one of the two hobbies will be n of A union B. This we can easily find using the formula. This we can easily find using the formula. Then whatever answer we get, subtract that from 220. That will give you the number of students who do not have any of the two hobbies. Then remaining part we will come to later. First just solve the first part of the sum, that is finding the number of students who do not have any of the two hobbies. Let U be the set of all surveyed students of standard 9. Therefore, n of U is 220. Let A be the set of students who like rock climbing. Therefore, n of A is equal to 130. Let B be the set of students who like sky watching. Therefore, n of B is 180. And 110 students like both rock climbing and star watching. Just that word star, it is supposed to be sky, okay? Sky watching. Therefore, n of A intersection B is equal to 110. Okay, now using the formula we will easily find out what is A union B. Just substitute the values. Okay, n of A was given 130, n of B 180, 110. Solving, we got n of A union B is equal to 200. That means there are 200 students who have at least one of the two hobbies. Out of 220 total students, there are 200 students who have at least one of the two hobbies. So that means there are 20 students who do not have any hobby, right? So 200 students have at least one of the two hobbies. Therefore, number of students who do not have any of the two hobbies is going to be total number of students surveyed, 20. Okay. Now we will just check what is the next question. The next question here is, how many of them follow the hobby of rock climbing only? Okay, now you may wonder that here they have given you no rock climbing, and we have written rock climbing as n of a, right? 130 students inform their hobby as rock climbing. So we have written n of a is equal to 130. We have written that. So what is that question exactly? Okay, so the question says, how many of them follow the hobby of rock climbing only? It should be only rock climbing, and they should not have any other hobby. Means they should not be having the hobby of sky watching. Now these 130, which may have, some of them may have the hobby of sky watching also. So we want exclusively those students who are having the hobby of rock climbing only. So we will subtract the students who are in the intersection part, means who have both the hobbies. So see, there are 110 students who follow both the hobbies. So from this 130, subtract intersection part, both, those who are having both, subtract that part. You will get the value of the students who are having the hobby of exclusively rock climbing, and here also exclusively sky watching. Subtract that intersection part, then we will get the students who are having the hobby of rock climbing only and sky watching only. So let's see, number of students who like only rock climbing will be n of a minus the intersection part. So that's 130 minus 110, that's 20. 20 students follow the hobby of rock climbing only. Number of students who like only sky watching is n of b minus the intersection part. So that's 70. So 70 students follow the hobby of sky watching only. Okay. Now the next sum. Observe the following Venn diagram and write the following sets. This is very easy. You just have to write the elements. Elements of set A. Set A means this entire circle. All the elements that you see inside this circle of A will come in the elements of A. In the curly braces, you have to write X, Y, Z, M and N. Okay, X, Y, Z, M and N. Next is B. B is this circle. So M, N, P, Q, R. Okay. P, Q, R, M, N. So while writing the set, as I told you earlier also, order is not important. But all the elements should come. No element should be missing. No element should be written repeatedly. These are the things you should always remember. A union B. Union means, see, this A and B together. All the elements that are there in A and B together, you will write X, Y, Z, M, N, P, Q, R. Okay. X, Y, Z, M, N, P, Q, R. That will be. Then next, U means the universal set. This is U. So all the elements that are here, that will. Don't write this A and B because they are the names of the set. Okay. So X, Y, Z, X, Y, Z, S, M, N, P, Q, R and T. These are the elements that we will write in the universal set. Then A complement. We have learned the definition of complement. All the elements that are not in A. A complement means all those elements which are not in A, but they are in the universal set. So outside the boundary of A, all the elements that are there, P, Q, R, T and this S will come in the A complement. P, Q, R, S and T. Then next, B complement. So this is the boundary of B. All the elements that are outside B will go in B complement. So they are X, Y, Z, S and this T. They will come in B complement. Then next, A union B complement. So first see what is A union B. So this entire A and this entire B. So both the circles, all the elements that are inside both the circles, they will be in A union B. So complement will be everything that is outside it, outside A and B. So S and T. So the elements will be A, S and T. Okay. So students, I hope you must have understood today's lesson. Thank you so much.